Download and listen to this on iTunes, Spotify, or your favorite podcast provider. Just check the description below.
I thought we could play Room 101. Room 101, of course, is taken from George Orwell's 1984. Room of all your fears and terrors. So,
is there a copyright issue here? Can we just steal this idea?
Well, yeah. Well, let's play Room 102.
Clever.
This is the room next door to Room 101, which is worse, in my opinion. So, Karl, these are things that really annoy you.
Slugs was in there.
Slugs. So, then there's you have to put a case forward, and me and Steve decide whether slugs go in or whether they stay out, whether they got a purpose.
It's just because I'm having a problem with slugs at the moment. There's a lot of slugs coming in the house.
Why?
Don't know. They can get where like water can't. You know what I mean? Because they're boneless, aren't they? So I need a little gap.
So is water boneless? There's not many bones in water.
No, that's what I said.
Why banish them all to Room 102, slugs? Because they're harmless, aren't they?
All I know is they're clogging up my piping. I had to go out and buy a plunger. I hadn't seen them since like comics when I was a kid. And I suddenly thought I need one of them things that I always saw in comics. I never thought I'd need one of them in my life. I've got slugs in my pipes. So I went out, £3 it was. I had no idea what the going rate is for a plunger. Gave it a bit of a plunge. And I think it was slugs. All bits of black stuff came up. I think it was slugs in there, broken up slugs.
Well, hang on. It could just be black gunk, couldn't it?
No, it looked very sluggish. Because remember, I've had a problem with them anyway. I'll go to the toilet or whatever, look round, there's a slug climbing up the wall out of the shower basin thing.
Are you sure it's a slug?
Yeah, definitely slugs. I have to keep chucking them out because I don't like killing anything.
No.
I didn't want to kill the slugs with slug pellets. I bought some copper ribbon.
Right, they don't like going over that.
They don't like that.
They get a little shock charge, yeah.
But now that should be a warning. But instead they're diverting. They've done a diversion. They've gone up the wall and across. Now it's like, that's a warning. That's like having a no trespassing sign. Yeah. And they're just going, bollocks to that. And they're getting in. And it's annoying me. And now you get to a point when you do say, well, if they carry on like this, I'll have to kill them because they're not... They're
not playing by the rules.
I don't know what they're doing. I don't know what the purpose is. They just sit there still. I don't see them doing anything. I was looking at one close up.
But what do you want to do? Be reading Rousseau. What do you want a slug to do?
In the same way you see a bee collecting pollen, good, it's doing its little work.
But they're
ants carrying big leaves or whatever. But the slug's just sat in the
They're
middle
all
of the
doing the
kitchen.
same thing. They're all doing the same thing. That slug is out. It's eating. It's finding food.
There's no food. There's no food in our kitchen for a slug. Believe me. There's not enough there for me sometimes. But never mind a slug. There's nothing for it. Definitely not in the shower. What's it doing? So I told you ages ago about how they cause more problems than good. They eat cabbage,
right?
When they shouldn't be. They get in letterboxes and nick stamps.
They don't nick stamps.
They eat the stamps. They like the glue on it.
Right. Is this a big problem though? Is there an epidemic of slugs eating stamps?
But I think it is, and that's why they're so slow. I think they're sweating glue.
And
they're eating all them, and that's why they're sticking to stuff. Have you ever picked up a slug? Well sticky. They give off this glue. It's like all the glue they've eaten off stamps. They panic, and when they sweat glue.
Sweat! Think of a slug! What do you mean they sweat glue? You're making up nature.
It makes sense.
This is just a nonsense theory.
It's just what I've noticed on them.
Right, Rick, do you allow slugs in Room 102?
Well, I think we should, if they're going to be gone forever, then we should put a case forward. They're amazing creatures.
What do they do for the world?
They're food.
It's not good enough, that. It's not good enough.
What do you mean? But that's the ultimate sacrifice. Surely them being food.
Just having problems with them at the moment. I've spent £3 on a plunger, and I don't like the idea that every time I get up in the night to go into the toilet or whatever, I've got to put the light on because I might have a bit of sluggage between my toes.
Sluggage? A little bit of sluggage between my toes.
Right, okay, so we need to move on. So you are not putting them in?
I'm not putting slugs in.
Alright, slugs have not gone in, Karl, I'm afraid.
What's your next one?
Okay, number 2.
People who don't want to do what the brains would be better at doing.
Right, okay, I'll get around that sentence. Now, tell me again.
Brains that don't want to do what their owners are good at.
Ah, so now it's the brain's fault.
Can you just expand on that point, please, KP?
Do you know, like, people decide what they want to do,
Right.
don't they, for a living? But sometimes they're not good enough.
Right. You mean they have a dream and they can't fulfill it because they haven't got the skill or...
Yeah, but that doesn't mean they're not good for anything.
No.
It's just that they haven't unlocked the thing that they're good at. They want to go
Of course. So, I mean, there's much bigger issues there that the poor working class people don't get the same opportunities. When you're worrying about whether you're going to live through the next few days, you don't start thinking, I wonder if I can play the cello.
Can I refer you back though, Rick? You made an interesting point there, but I fear that's not exactly what Karl was saying. I don't think that his point was quite that profound.
Yeah, that's kind of what I meant.
Yeah, I don't know. There was something to do with the brain not allowing its owner.
Yeah, because that's the bit that annoys me. Fair enough if a brain hasn't decided what it wants to do, because you.
What is this?
Let him finish.
God, this
Because
thing about the brain.
Shut up.
Because it hasn't found its destiny type thing.
A brain hasn't found its destiny.
When someone is good at something and they know the brain is good at something, but then they don't want to do it and they want to go off and do something else. Now they say in this country the problem is we haven't got enough tradesmen.
Right.
We don't have enough plumbers.
Right.
There's enough plumbers' brains.
I don't know what the fuck that means.
Shut up. What are you talking about? Shut up. Let him please finish.
Because
This is like beds and pillows
brains
again.
have not changed over the years. The brain is exactly the same. But it's the owner of the brain that's in charge. The brain could be going, I want to go for a walk. But if your body's too lazy to get up and go and see the stuff, the brain isn't going to get what it wants.
It doesn't make sense, Karl. You are your brain.
All right, let's go to the extreme. People with no legs who want to be swimmers. Don't be stupid.
Oh, God. Oh, God.
I'm so annoyed. Is this a big problem?
It's madness, isn't it? It's mad that the brain wants to do that so much. The brain's in the wrong body almost. Yeah. Are you in me?
No.
A plumber who can plumb is annoying when he jacks it in as a living because there's other brains who can't do plumbing. They don't get their head round it.
This means I don't know what you're putting in room 102 because you're saying it's like this brain's wandering around looking
the
for a
brain?
body and it goes, oh, I'll choose that body. Hang on, this body doesn't even want to do some plumbing.
It's a matter of taste. It's just a matter of taste.
I'm not putting the brain in. It's just people. If I had a really good skill, I'd hope that I'd use it.
So people who don't fulfil their own potential. Is that a better point?
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Who am I talking to now, Karl or his brain?
We're both listening.
Well, I will put in people who don't fulfil their full potential. Slugs are safe. What's your next thing to try and get in room 102?
It's a tricky one, this.
Go on.
It's people who think that humans are special. Do you know what I mean?
But you think that?
No, I don't. I don't think humans are special. I think
what-
some of us are. Look at it like this. You see, we think we're important because we just do. Well, I don't, but some do. And they're the ones I want to get rid of.
Another argument with himself.
Now, we think we're special. There might be something else going on that's more important. We're in this universe, aren't we?
Yeah.
They're trying to make a new universe.
What do you mean?
There's a machine somewhere.
What?
A big bang. They're making a big bang again.
Right, well you've got that completely wrong, but sure. They're not trying to create a new world. They're trying to recreate the conditions that happened at the beginning of the Big Bang.
All right, so the world
Completely
came
different.
But the world came from the Big Bang.
They're trying to recreate the conditions so they can test and they can experiment to see
Dangerous.
the conditions before.
So why are they doing that? Who's allowed that? This is what annoys me. It's because humans think they're special. Oh, who made the Big Bang? Oh, I'd like my name on that. I want to claim it. Why do people always want to better someone else? It's happened. Let them have it.
Okay, right, okay, Karl, you're in charge of the world now. You are this, you're all-powerful. You're like a god, okay? You can do anything. You call all the scientists, and they go, what do you want of us? Oh, orange-headed one. What the fuck do you want of us? Right? What do you want them to do? Go. What do you say?
Well, I want to come in and... How long have they been working on the Big Bang idea?
Forget it, you've got every science...
No, but I don't just want to come in and poo-poo that, because they're going to...
Poo-poo?
They've done a lot of research on
Hold
it.
on, you wanted to stop a minute ago?
Yeah, I know, but you don't just come in, guns are blazing. I'd say, hello,
You can do
everyone.
anything you want. Go on then.
Hello, everyone.
Hello, Karl, leader.
Right, listen, this Big Bang thing you've been doing...
Yeah, well, that's just only a few of us. That's like less than 1,000,000% of us. We're all here.
Yeah.
I've dropped AIDS research. I've dropped cancer research.
Right, well, why have you dropped that? Who's told you to do that?
Well, no, we knocked off. They said you wanted to tell us something. We're all here. Every scientist in the world
Well,
is
listen,
here.
what research are you doing?
Oh, well, I'm looking at what happens if you give Feminax to an owl.
What happens?
Well, I'm halfway through it. I got called away.
Look, I'm really busy. What do you want me to work on?
Who said they're doing cancer? Go back to work.
Cheers.
Right.
Okay, the rest of us doing stuff that you think we're fanning around with. What would you want us to
Listen,
do?
well, I can't do it all today.
What about me? I was doing AIDS.
Hang on a minute.
I was doing AIDS.
You just wait a minute.
Right, okay, why does cancer get to go back? Are you saying that cancer's a bigger problem than AIDS?
You go back to work.
So AIDS go back. I'm doing restless legs.
Right, can everybody but the Big Bang people leave? Tell you another problem that I've worked out. It might make a slight difference on fat people. Don't put a light in a fridge. Because that's just that night when they get peckish. You can see everything that's in there. Don't put the light there. You don't need a light in a fridge. There's no lights in other cupboards. Yet where there's food, it's like fatties getting up at 4 in the morning. What can they have? What's that at the back? Get rid of the light, they'd eat less.
There might be some logic in that.
That's interesting.
Well, what's it there for? Tell me what that light is there for. They say turn off your standby light, yet you've got a light in your fridge.
Well, no, it is
showing
turned
you
off.
where tomatoes is.
But
or
it's turned off
chocolate.
when you shut the light's not on when the door's not open.
Yes, but a fat person who's always got the fridge door open.
So what are you saying, in a way, is that the free market, capitalism being what it is, which has allowed companies, food manufacturers to make them full of more salt, more fat, in order to attract you, in order to make more profits, is actually resulting in obesity.
I was in a cafe, right? I normally like to go in there, and I might have beans on toast,
Cheese on
cup
top.
of tea. I might have a bit of cheese.
Yeah, cheddar on top.
Only if they offer. I sometimes sort of think I shouldn't have it, so I'll only have it if they say, "Do you want cheese?"
Oh, okay.
And then it's down to their problem. Do you know what I mean? It's kind of like they made me have that.
Yeah.
So anyway, I'm sat in there. This little fella, I'd say he was from like Africa or something. Came in, had a little top hat on, suitcase, and red jeans. Dead happy he was. I think he just turned up to London. It's his first day out, and he's probably thinking, "I can't believe me. Look at the choice here." Anyway, the difference was
All conjecture. Yeah.
the difference was he went in and he said, "Have you got any porridge?" He asked for 2 bowls for the price of 1. There was a little bit of a
kerfuffle.
Yeah, a little bit, because he couldn't understand why. You've got loads of porridge, give me 2 portions. But what I found interesting is he didn't want to go for the donut or the pastry, because in his country they don't have it. So food where he's from is for what food is for, isn't it? Giving you energy.
Yeah.
Here it's not about that, is it?
No.
You go, "Oh, I'd love a little muffin." So I just found it interesting. That's all my point is, that he could have anything. He's come over here. He's in London. He's got loads of stuff on offer. Yeah. He still wanted his porridge.
Do you think that... Well, firstly, do you think perhaps he had travelled from the past in some kind of time machine? But secondly, do you think that now that he'll have his first taste of a donut, won't he, or a pain au chocolat, do you think he'll get the taste of it next time you see him?
Well, maybe that's how it
let
works,
those
isn't it? I mean,
trousers out.
why do I like?
Hey, next time we're gonna go, "Hello, usual."
No, chef de porridge. I want a donut.
That's what happens, isn't it? It's all about a mixture. You need a mixture in your body. You need to have, like I've said to you before, I get an urge for things that I don't even know about. Do you know what I mean?
What, like what?
Anything. The one that always surprises me are plums. Because I shouldn't get an urge for plums. I don't like them enough, but if I pass them in a supermarket, I go, "I want them for a bit." Yeah, I think you need that. And I go mad. I'll eat a full packet in a day. I'll eat like 6 and get bellyache and that. And I know I shouldn't overdo it with them. But it's just like, my body...
He's like a creature, isn't he?
My body just calls out for stuff.
It doesn't, Karl.
No, it feels that way because I wouldn't normally buy them. My favourite fruit, I like an apple, love a banana. I've got into blackberries.
Yeah.
Quite expensive, but a bit of a treat. I think there's plenty of fruit out there. Bananas, apples, oranges. We've got plenty of fruit. They can't get rid of fruit quick enough. There's loads of stuff with fruit in now. Shower gel with kiwi in it. Telling you, they can't get rid of it because it's too much. So they're just going, "What can we do with all this stuff? Let's stick it in there." Orange juice. I had orange juice sort of cordial.
Yeah.
Tastes a bit weird, isn't it? Orange. sneaked a bit of pineapple in. Orange and pineapple. You can't get rid of the stuff.
I'm a big fan of the Satsuma. Easy to peel. What I don't like is the big oranges. You have to peel them. You get it on your. You know.
They're the ones I eat when I'm in the bath. just
so you just dunk under the water afterwards, and you're clean again.
If I'm going to have a bath, then that's what you do.
So it's 2 treats. It's an orange and a bath. I mean, that's amazing. That's an amazing thing to look forward to. Don't you think you've blown that for when you're old, when you're 74, and they go, I'll tell you what, Karl, lovely treats, a bath and an orange. Done it! I did it when I was 36. So, have you heard Desert Island Discs?
Yeah.
Good, let's do that. Right, forget the 8 records, we can't play them anyway. We can't play them anyway.
I know, but for people in other countries, they may not be familiar with Desert Island Discs.
Oh, it's a programme, it's a real national institution here. They get, you know, prime ministers and leaders of men and really eminent people to go on, and you talk about your life, and you choose your 8 favourite tunes, you take a luxury item, and you're allowed to take any book. I did it. And I took a book, I think a tabletop book of art.
Why would you take that?
You can't take anything that's useful. It's just, you know, it's and your luxury item, you can't. I took a vat of Novocaine. I thought if I get toothache, I'm sipping on that till I die. If I'm stuck here with nothing to do, I've got 8 records, I'm going to be sick of them.
That's the thing.
I'm looking at art, at least I'm looking at something, you know.
What book would you take, Karl?
Well, I wouldn't take an art book anyway, I know that.
Right, okay,
Because
so come on
then,
one book.
You're going to get sick of it.
Right, one book. You can't get sick of art either.
You can. You can. You can have a brilliant picture on your wall, but eventually, remember what I've said to you, your eyes get bored of anything.
I don't remember him saying that. I think I blanked out. I think he came in one ear straight out the other.
Well, that's why relationships break up, isn't it? Because the eyes get sick of looking at that other person, and you go, my eyes want to change. That's what it's all about.
Me eyes want to change. Okay,
sorry,
on,
love.
Fucking hell, choose a book to
I'd
take.
probably take a dictionary or something like that.
Oh, that's ridiculous. Why would you take a dictionary?
Just because I'm not that good with words.
But what do you want words for? You're not talking to anyone anymore. You don't have to worry about the vocabulary. You have to worry about...
but there'll be a lot of talking to yourself, probably. It'd be nice to sort of...
Oh, so you're going to bring yourself up on your grammar, are they? You're talking to yourself and you go, oh, Karl, you're an idiot. You don't say it like that.
Well, if you've got to talk to yourself, it'd be nice to have...
Why are you talking to yourself, you maniac?
Because there's no one else about.
Yeah, but you don't open your mouth and actually verbally talk in order to talk.
But also, what does it matter if you've got a dictionary or not? Who's arguing with who?
Because sometimes I feel frustrated when I can't get my point across.
But it's just you!
Exactly,
you already
that's
know
even
your
more
point.
annoying.
So-
Look how you're getting annoyed now. You're annoyed with me because I can't explain what I mean.
Yeah.
I don't want to be annoyed myself.
But you'll already understand your point. You don't need to vocalise
No,
it.
sometimes I think through what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And I think, does that make sense? And sometimes I'll go, no, it doesn't. And I'll go, why is that? And then you're working it out in your head. Now, if I've got a better vocab, I'll have a good little chat.
What? With yourself?
If you're not keeping yourself interested in anything, your brain's going to turn to mush. Now, I
know how you feel.
I'm teaching my brain stuff, keeping it active. The only thing you've got on that island is your imagination and your thoughts. Now, if you can make those imaginations and thoughts better, which you do with language, you're going to have a better time, aren't you?
Well, no, if you've had the thought, you've had the thought. You don't go, hold on, I'd have a thought here, but I can't think of the word.
You don't think in language in that same way, do you really? You think more conceptually.
When someone came up, guess what? I've just found the cure for... Oh, I can't think of the word. What? I've just worked out the cure for... I can't think of the word. Let's look it up. What is it? Cancer.
No, but just to think, language is a powerful thing, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh, he's run out of words.
You see, this is what I'm saying. It's sometimes difficult for me to get my point across with what I mean.
Yeah, but that's fair enough if you're communicating, say, in this environment. And it's, dare I say it, perhaps a shame that you didn't read a dictionary before we started doing the broadcasting. But anyway, you've waited here on a desert island with no fucker around.
Well, no. Well, I think by then, by the time you get shipwrecked, there would probably be a few more entries to the dictionary. Grippage, foodage, rummaging, replenishing.
So what? All words are made up. Orange. One day someone went, what?
He's got a head like something.
He's got a head like a fucking what?
I don't even know what.
He's got a head like a fucking what?
And the other thing is, say if I am captured.
By who?
What?
By who?
By a boat, that's passive.
Well, you captured. You mean saved?
Alright, saved then, yeah.
Okay.
If I'm there you go again, you see. I went for captured instead of saved.
You're captured by some pirates.
Talking to anyone, Karl, in your head, it didn't matter. You knew what you meant. When you sat there on that desert island, you thought, oh, if I'm captured by a boat. They didn't come over and go, hi, Karl, we've come to save you. You wouldn't go, well, no, I don't want saving, I want capturing. I go, right, sorry, wait for the next boat. It didn't matter. You knew what you meant. You'd go, help, and you'd get on the boat.
Do you think in words that you don't use? You've only got yourself a company. If you bore yourself, what's the point? What is the point, seriously?
But how are you going to... What, so you think you're going to read that dictionary and you're going to be better company? Because you're going to be impressing yourself with longer words. You're going to go...
If a boat passes and they go, there's a fella over there on the island, let's go and get him. Now, the way I am at the moment, they'd go, you all right? And I'd go, you what? And they go, oh, don't stop. Where...
That's it! Imagine that!
Whereas if I sort of say something with a big word that I can't think of right now, they'll go, oh, who's that? He sounds like he knows his stuff.
Yoo-hoo! Anti-disassemblementarianism!
Get him on this boat now!
We must have that wit!
Alright, you get...
Come through.
But then I'm on the news and they go, oh, Karl, what was it like on the island? And I can start saying stuff. I
It
can't...
was scramfarious.
No, but then I think it makes it more interesting, whereas at this moment in time, I'd struggle telling what it's like.
I like the idea of you trying to educate and
I
better
love
yourself.
the idea.
But do it now!
But there's so many other books. If I'm stuck with one...
Okay, the dictionary. You've got a dictionary. What's
Fine.
your luxury item? What's your luxury item? Quick. Let's get off this island. Come on.
What did you take for your luxury?
A vat of Novocaine.
Oh, yeah. Some Revels, a big sort of bag.
Big bag of Revels.
A big bag of Rebels.
Just for variety.
But there's no variety, particularly in Rebels. They're all
Joking,
chocolate,
aren't
aren't
you?
they?
No, all different. You've got orange ones, you've got coffee, caramel, Malteser. I mean, taking Novocaine isn't great, is it? If you don't get toothache, you'll be going, why don't they bring Rebels?
Karl, what doesn't annoy you? That's the question, really.
No, I'm not going to sit here and... different things annoy me. But I don't just go about getting annoyed.
Seems
Stuff
like it.
happens. No. Stuff happens.
What's
And then-
annoyed you this week?
I mean, I tend to get annoyed when people around me get annoyed. I'm never the one who's going in somewhere getting annoyed. I'm quite happy-go-lucky, me.
You're having a laugh.
I'm not.
That's rubbish. There is nothing about... No one would ever say that.
No one...
How would you describe Karl Pilkington?
Oh, he's happy-go-lucky. Whenever I see him, he's skipping along, whistling a tune.
I whistle a lot, I've told you. I'm
Yeah,
always
only to
whistling.
annoy people when you're playing Scrabble.
No, I just... At the end of the day, I think the problem is, most of the day, I'm on my own,
Right.
right? I'm doing DIY at home, I'm quite happy. No one's there annoying me. I
Right.
go for my lunch later than everyone else, so I don't have to see people.
He's like Quasimodo, isn't he? He's like
Why?
coming down when everyone else is not there.
No one's around. Suzanne!
No, but then that's the problem. Suzanne then comes home. She's been sort of with people, so she comes in with loads of energy, and I'm going, just slow down. Stop going on. Then she's breaking stuff, and that's probably the last
What do
thing.
you mean she's breaking?
What?
She's heavy-handed with all the stuff I've been fixing. She broke the shutters. What else did she break?
Well,
the
you
other
could have
day?
done a good job.
I did do a good
The
job.
shutters? Where do you live? In the Old West?
What do you mean the shutters?
Some shutters on a window. She heavy-handed with them.
I don't want them to see me. What a mum.
So what else has she broken?
She's always breaking stuff. The light switch outside. Heavy-handed. She forces things. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. It doesn't matter how hard you hit it or how hard you pull it. Just tell me if it doesn't work and I'll sort it. That's what I do these days. I'm like a caretaker to Suzanne's house. I'm wandering around and replacing stuff that she's fucked up.
So she annoys you. She comes home. You've had a lovely day of peace on your own.
So the only person that likes you and talks to you annoys you.
And when you're at home doing your DIY, I want to picture that scene.
Well, okay, right. We've never done this before, right? But let's do a typical day. We've known each other now. How long have we known Karl? Nearly 10 years.
Feels like a long time,
right?
yeah.
So, let's do a typical day in the life of Karl Pilkington.
So for my first question is, what time does Suzanne have to wake up? Does that annoy you? Does she have to get up earlier than you?
Because she's got a proper job.
The alarm goes off.
What time?
About 7.
That seems early.
Yeah, but I'm used to it now.
Okay.
At the
Now, you
moment,
spring out of bed, make her a cup of tea, do you?
no.
Right.
Let her get up, mess about.
By mess about, you mean get ready for work?
Yeah.
Right.
She's not being quiet, so I'm awake now. Right?
What do you mean she's not being quiet?
Well, she's just banging about, like I say, heavy-handed. I don't know how she does it. It's just doors and stuff. Everything seems like the Hulk's in the house. Bounding about. Just don't be heavy-handed with it. When even like pulling the curtains shut and stuff, because it's not her who has to fix it. Do you know what I mean? When she's yanking at them and pulling them open, it's like just pull them like that. I've put them on a nice rail. Just pull them slowly like that.
Right.
It's things like that.
This sounds like these jobs aren't done correctly.
That's what
They are done proper.
No, because if you get if you get a bad pair of jeans and someone says, "Oh, you've ripped it," a good pair of jeans, they won't rip, boy.
No, just look after it. It doesn't matter if you've got good jeans or poor jeans. Treat them the same. Look after your stuff. I've always been like that.
I know,
I've
yeah.
told you from a young age I didn't like people sitting on my bed after I'd made it. It was like, I've gone to the trouble, I've made it, there's no creases in it, don't sit on it. There's a chair there, use the chair.
Sure. Okay. That's mental, but yeah.
It's not mental.
It's the behaviour of a
It's not mental.
Yeah.
So, Suzanne's
she's
passionate
got-
about the place.
So the doors, I mean, what's up with the doors? Do they squeak, or is the
No.
catch been done wrongly on them,
No.
or
No,
is it the
hasn't.
wrong
No.
wood or something?
No, just heavy-handed.
Oh, right, okay.
So then she has a shower. If I have a shower, I like to go second because I've got the Mr. Muscle spray that she doesn't do properly.
right.
Do you breakfast together?
Just sit on the bed, have some.
Have you made the bed yet?
Yeah, it's made.
Well, don't sit on the bed if it's made.
That's
No,
madness.
I've
Sit on
calmed
the
down.
chair.
I've calmed down. That's what I've said to her. As I'm getting older,
Yeah.
I'm easing a bit.
Yeah, you're like Doris Day.
So sit on the bed, look
Why
out
are you
the
having
window.
breakfast not sat on the bed? That doesn't
Yeah,
make sense to
doesn't
me.
make sense
Either
to me.
have breakfast in bed,
Just 'cause
classic,
the
or have
radio-
it at the kitchen
The
table.
radio's in there, and it's just kind of.
So you get up, make breakfast, go back and sit on the bed because the radio's
What's
in there.
going on with the crumbs, Rick?
I don't know what the crumbs are doing,
The
but I don't
crumbs
know why
all
they've
over-
got two radios.
Crumbs. Hang on, you don't know what I'm having. I'm having cornflakes. No crumbs with cornflakes.
No.
So you're having, two of you are sat there. Are you sat on opposite sides of the bed looking at each other, or you're both sat on the sides of the bed
that's-
looking at the wall, listening to the radio, eating a bowl of cornflakes?
Yeah,
Well, you could sort of cross-legged on the bed, or your legs are down on the
just
floor.
down on the floor.
Right.
Fully clothed now, you've had the showers.
Might have a t-shirt on and my undies.
Okay.
I haven't put my socks on yet. I don't like socks. I'd put them on last.
Why don't you like socks?
They just cut off your freedom.
I don't know how socks can cut off anything.
It's all right if your feet are cold. They're nice to put on, but I don't know. My socks are never that well fitting, so I don't really enjoy
But why
wearing
don't you
them.
get socks that fit
You
you?
get the
I
right
never buy
size.
socks, do I?
They
I
should
let
be the
other
same
people-
size as your shoes.
Yeah,
little
I let
rule.
other people buy them for me, and they're never quite right.
But hold on though, this is a rule you've imposed on yourself.
I'm only telling you because you've asked. I didn't come in here moaning about it. I'm just
Socks
saying-
cut off your freedom. Never heard that before.
Okay. Oh, Mandela said it.
Well, yeah, never heard socks compared to the Berlin Wall.
Yeah, I think William Wallace said it as well. Right.
Yeah, imagine that in Braveheart. Just takes his socks off and goes,
Yeah.
freedom!
Yeah.
Anyway, then I'll say, right, on your way to work, take the bin bag out.
Right.
She'll do that, and then I get on with whatever I've got to do that day.
Little kiss on the cheek, on the
But why
forehead.
do you say
Pat on the head.
who pats who on the head?
I'll just sort of rub the back of her head. There you go. See you later.
Then what? You're there. You got your pants on. You got your t-shirt on.
Well,
You've
you
had
listen
your
to the
cornflakes.
news. You listen to what's being said on the radio. We'll have a little discussion about it. Sometimes she's in the mood for it. Sometimes she'll go, "Don't worry about it."
Right. What now? What would she say that to then? What would you worry about if you heard on the news?
I heard something about worms getting teeth,
Right.
and she was kind of going, "You're not meant to worry about this news story. This war's going on and stuff. You never listen to them."
Do you remember the story of the worms with the teeth? Should we be alarmed ourselves? What was the information?
It was just saying how it was all about nature versus nurture thing,
Right.
and saying how worms that are growing up in a family where there's loads of food around,
What do you mean growing up in a family?
just a family of worms in the soil.
Right.
They're going through the soil. If there's loads of food for everyone, and they don't have to fight for food,
Right.
they're quite happy. They don't have teeth. The ones like the rougher worms, where there's not enough, it's like a massive family, the kids left, right, and centre, but they haven't got the nutrients to feed them all. They fight against each other, and the ones that they're growing teeth now.
I didn't hear the news story, so I'm going out on a limb here. I don't think it was about a worm being maybe more working class and chavvy, though. With like big families, look at that, but big family can't even feed them all. And then you got middle class worms going, we've got enough food for everyone because we haven't overbred.
You know what people are like now? They've got researchers watching all sorts of stuff.
Right.
Keeping their eye on everything. When you don't have to worry about it. A worm with teeth, if they've got teeth or not, to me it is not a problem. Not a problem at all. I normally save a worm if I see one.
So
In the rain, on a pavement. If I see it there, I go, someone's going to stand on that, and I chuck it and I sort of watch it for a bit, see which way it was going, give it an helping hand.
See which way it was going, like it had an aim.
Well, they do. No, they do though, don't they? They're always going somewhere.
Yeah.
He's going to the dentist.
You can't tell. You don't know which end its head's on.
Okay, so it's 8:05. Suzanne's gone out, you've rubbed the back of her head, she's took the rubbish out. You're there, pants, t-shirt.
No socks.
No socks yet. What happens to the bowls of ex-cornflakes? Where do they go? Have you got...
I wash up.
You wash up, that's the next thing you do, is it? Right, okay.
Now then, do you plan ahead for the day? Do you think to yourself, Karl, make a list of stuff to do, or do you just let it go?
I let it happen. I don't like... the worst thing for me is planning.
Yeah,
I told you before.
Yeah.
You don't get anything done by planning, is what you said.
I don't like the idea of waking up going, I've got to do that today, because that's when you don't look forward to doing the thing.
Yep.
Whereas I get up, I'm washing up, I'll look at a wall and I'll go, those tiles aren't very good, I'm going to rip them off.
Jesus Christ. This is amazing. This is amazing. I mean, forget Idiot Abroad. Forget the Ricky Gervais show. Let's just have 24/7 Karl Cam. Just think how that would look. He gets up, Suzanne leaves, we get him to, he looks at a wall.
He starts tearing the tile off. It looks like the behaviour of a psychopath, doesn't it?
Oh, so this is what worries me though. The fact that you're always doing DIY suggests that you didn't do a good job in the first place.
No,
Steve, am I wrong?
I never ever do the same thing twice. Once it's done, it's done. I do it right. I take my time. I get it done right.
So this is other people's workmanship that you're undoing and doing properly. Okay, right.
Now the radio's in the bedroom, so you can't listen to the radio when you're doing your work.
I normally drag it through.
You drag it through. How big is it?
No, it's just a little clock radio thing.
So it's plugged in.
Okay. Then.
So if it wasn't for meeting up with me and Steve and Suzanne being home between, I don't know, 6 o'clock at night and 8 the next morning, you wouldn't talk to anyone, would you?
Do you have any friends that you might talk to?
Yeah, talk to some people on the phone. But then I soon get bored with that.
Right.
About 5 minutes in, I realise I'm not listening anymore.
So what were you talking about that you got bored about?
I can't remember because I got bored with it.
Yeah.
And he was talking, and I kind of thought, I hope he doesn't say, what do you think of that in a minute, because I wasn't listening.
Right.
So what's the point of having the conversation?
I don't know.
But hold on, I call you up. It's presumably the first phone call you get. It's the first phone call I make. I call you up and I go, what's going on, boy? Right?
Yeah, but most of the time I don't tell you, because you'll go, right, what are you doing DIY? Pay someone to do it. And we have to have all that every day, the same chat. If I'm not doing DIY, I wouldn't be doing anything. And then I get grumpy. Suzanne comes home, she goes, what have you done today? And I go, nothing. And I get fed up then, because I don't feel like I'm worth anything.
I work harder for your career than you do. I'm always doing stuff to try and get you to do stuff. I'm always trying to get you shows and things, and I'm always trying to get you to get out there and do something towards it.
I don't want to do it. I've done it now.
Yeah.
I've done it.
Yeah.
We did the programme, it goes out on the telly. Job done. If people want to watch it, they watch it. There's no point me cropping up on Loose Women, asking people to tune into my programme. They either want to watch it or they don't. If they're watching Loose Women, I don't want them watching my programme. There's a lot of crap on the telly, and that's why, in a way, people go, oh, it's amazing, isn't it, that you're on the telly? No, not really, because there's loads of garbage on there. Anyone can get on it.
Yeah, well, that's
It's
true,
not special anymore. It used to be special in the 80s when there was like 3 channels, 4 channels. Now it's a doddle.
But that's why you should make special TV. You should relish that.
No, because they want some sort of flumph telly, don't they? That's that they don't have to think about.
Yeah. Do you mean the programme The Flumps?
He didn't say flump. He said flump.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Now how are you spelling flump? It's FLUMF.
PH.
PH flump. PH flump.
PF.
PF. Oh,
PF?
Flump. Okay.
Flump telly.
Yeah, flump.
Flump telly. So So take it this way. So,
And what would be an example of flump telly?
what's flump telly?
No, I don't want to go slagging stuff off, but I'm just saying I watch
Who
less
would
and less
feature
telly
in
now.
flump telly? Who would be a typical
Who's
person?
typical? Is it all for those awful docu-soaps when people live their life like an open wound, saying, "Look, me fanny fell off," and then
I haven't seen that, but yeah, all that sort of stuff. I do honestly. The amount of telly I watch now compared to a few years ago, it's non-existent. Suzanne comes home at night. I might watch a Grand Designs to get some tips off it. Other than that,
So that's work. You count that as work, don't you?
Research at
well,
least.
at least you learn something. So then we'll just sit and have a game of crib. Or,
You'd have been happy in the Blitz, wouldn't you? You'd have been happy down in one of those subway stations.
Oh, Suzanne, what? What? Chimney's gone. Oh no, what was that? Doodlebug. I better go up there. Oh, leave it, will you? Come on. Oh, that's bloody heavy-handed, them Germans. They're bloody heavy-handed.
Well, let's go back a bit here. So you've done a bit of tiling. Good job. Please, you're halfway through. Spot a lunch around 3-ish.
Yeah.
What do? Do you pop out for lunch in a cab?
depends. Sometimes Suzanne, as I pat her on the head, she sometimes says, "There's some ham in the fridge." I'll go, right.
I love it. Like there's a little choreograph. If I better pat on the head. I don't know what's got to eat today. Oh, Karl thinks like Pavlovian conditioning.
Yeah.
Last time I patted on her head, she told me about some food in the fridge. Bye, love. Take the rubbish out. I'm in the fridge. Cheers. Brilliant. Yeah. Okay.
So I'll eat that.
Now, the radio's on the whole time. Is there? Because I want to picture this. You're not working in silence. Radio's on the whole time. That little squeaky radio that's sort of halfway in the doorway of the bedroom and the lounge or whatever. You've got the radio. And what station you listen to? You listen to music? You listen
Sometimes
to
I
speech?
listen to sort of speech stuff.
Right.
Sometimes I listen to music.
What would be speech, like a kind of one of those phone-in programs, or?
Phone-ins do me head in a bit.
Right.
I like, reports on stuff.
So you like to be informed as you go?
Yeah, just so it gives me something to talk about, because if you're not with anyone all day, your brain's not doing anything, is it? Whereas me listening to them, it's like having someone in the room telling you stuff without you having to chat back. I prefer that. I'm a bigger listener than I'm a talker.
Yeah.
Whereas these days, a lot of people are talking, but they're not listening.
Perfect.
So,
Although you're not listening to actual humans like your friends when they call you up.
because they're just mithering.
Do you make sure that you get everything done and dusted before Suzanne comes home, so she comes home to a spotless place?
Yeah.
And so she comes in, do you instantly show her the work you've done, or do you just let her notice it for herself?
Sometimes I just leave it and see how long it takes for her to go. You've done that.
Okay.
And if she doesn't notice it, are you annoyed or are you excited to tell her?
Sometimes I forget.
He does it again the next day.
That timing's a bit shoddy. I should do that. Wow, sometimes you forget. And so it's not the equivalent of when a lady comes to him and says, oh, you've noticed my new hairdo. Is it sort of the equivalent for you? If she hasn't noticed, you don't get frustrated.
Now, you do notice her new hairdos, don't you? Because you say you don't like them. So what does she say about your tiling?
No, most of the stuff I do, she goes, that's good. But sometimes she'll go, why don't we just get someone in to do it?
What, before or after?
Well, it depends what it is. If it's something that's big and has been bothering her, but it's not bothering me, I'm saying I'll sort it out.
But what's an example of something that's big that bothers her and not you?
Don't worry about it. She's going to get someone in. Well, no, I won't get someone in. Because, you see, the thing is, she got someone in once when the oven blew up. Right? I said, leave it, I'll sort it, I'll look at it. No, you don't know what you're doing, get someone in. No, let me have a look, no, get someone in. She calls someone up, they come round. The old £80 call-out charge business, straight away. They pull it out, they go, oh, it was the fuse and the plug. Now, I could have sorted that out, but she didn't give me a chance. So now it's good now, because I've got that on the old back burner. So every time she says, let's call someone out, I'll go, oven. There's a little reminder. So I'm glad in a way that she did. But so now she just leaves it. She doesn't interfere.
No, Karl, I've got terrible pains. Oven.
I normally speak to my mum and dad at some point every day.
Really?
Do you? Every day you
call.
speak to your mum and dad?
Yeah.
Could you take us through a typical conversation with your dad? He calls up.
What does he say? What does he say?
He said, I've just been out, got your mum some medicine.
Well, every time he calls, he's
No,
been
I'm
out.
just telling you the last call out.
Oh, I see. Sorry. Right.
What's the weather like? And then my mum might get on. And
Okay.
Okay.
What's she got to say?
Look forward to this.
She just tells me a bit of it. She, like, what was it the other day? She said, "Oh, have you seen them tablets that are food?"
She's so like you. She's just like you. Oh God, what is she, a fucking astronaut? Have you seen them tablets? What are food? Oh,
Go on, what
God.
are the tablets that are like food?
No, that's what it is. It's like the spaceman food. They've come out and we're just chatting about them. She's saying, "Oh,
What do you mean they've come out? Really?
yeah, because we live in a busy world and everything, where people haven't got time to have a proper lunch."
So you have a call like this, scintillating phone conversation like this every day with your parents.
Yeah.
And does she always try to find a piece of new information she thinks might interest you?
That's
each day?
sweet though. That's
Yeah,
sweet that you talk
absolutely.
to his parents every day. So you've spoken to your mum and dad. You've changed the tiles.
Suzanne comes in,
The kitchen's all clean, ready for us to make the tea.
ready for her to make the tea, even though I know you've been tiling, but that was a job you gave yourself. You didn't have to do it.
No, but I don't do cooking. She knows that. This isn't even a discussion.
Right.
She knows.
What are you having tonight?
Scampi. So she'll do all that. I'll eat it.
And sorry, let me just rewind for a second.
I'll eat it. He's listing it in his day's work. I'll eat it. I say, "I've eaten that." She goes, "Thank you." You go, "Oven." Okay, let's act it out.
Yep.
Okay, you've just cleaned up, right? The last bit there. You look back. Them tiles look good. You look at the clock.
Right. Backing up. Cleaning up all the mess. Phone's going. Who's that? Suzanne. Alright. Yeah. Coming home. Alright then. See you in a bit. She'll go. I'll put the kettle on, or at least fill it, ready. Because she normally calls again.
What do you mean? She calls again? What?
She calls again when she's out the tube.
Let's do it. Let's hear it. What's going on?
Alright. You out the tube? Yeah. Do you want a cup of tea? Yeah. Right. See you in a minute. Sometimes I'll say, "Oh, get us a little treat when you come out the tube."
Yeah.
So she'll get me, a bounty or something to go with a cup of tea.
Do you specify that when you say "get me a treat"? She says, "Well, what? Sometimes you have a Mars bar, sometimes you have a
No,
Bounty."
that's enough for me. When she comes in, it's a talking topic, innit? What have you got me?
Topic. She sometimes gets you a topic.
It's something to chat about, isn't it?
Right. Okay.
Get your bounty.
To chat about.
So, has there ever been a time? Sorry, I just got to get this straight, Steve.
Sorry, Rick, I just wanted to say, could you imagine you and I having a conversation about what chocolate bar you ever brought me? What'd you get me, Rick?
Got your bounty. Is that all
Thanks,
right?
mate. That's as long as that conversation can possibly
Yeah,
go.
that
You're
is it.
talking about it's a talking point.
Yeah. So what happens? So what's the last time there was a discussion about what she bought you? Did she ever bring you a bounty and you go, "Oh, I was really hoping for a Mars bar"?
I think the last time she got a bounty, I sort of said, "Oh, they do a 3-pack now." Do you know how they just have 2 bars? They do a 3 one.
Right. What did she say?
She said, "Do they?" Did
She said, I want out of this relationship.
No, but that's how she comes through. Take her coat off. I'll go. "Oh." She'll go, "What, are we having scampi still, or have you gone off the idea?" And then I'll go, "Oh, we should get them tablets my mum's been talking about." She goes, "What tablets?" I go, "The food." So see how it's all coming together.
Yeah.
So it's like that, and that's
What does
we
she
do.
say to the idea of now living on tablets instead of having some scampi and chips when she comes home after a hard day's work? What does she
She
say
just
to
sort of
that?
goes, "All right."
She says, "Oh, right."
Yeah.
So this important information which you're imparting that you've garnered during the day, her response to that is, "Oh, right."
Yeah.
So-
and then I'll get her attention at some point. I'll say there's worms with teeth.
I'll get her attention at some point. I'll say, I'm going to bring out the good big guns now.
Imagine-
Right, she's ignoring me. Okay, wait for this. Suzanne, I see you're ignoring me. Yeah. Worms with teeth. Oh, God. Amazing. So what does she say to worms have teeth?
I can't remember. She just sort of said, "Oh, have you got the facts right?" I said, "Yeah." That's kind of it. And she'll either go, "All right," or she'll. I mean, it's pretty rare that it's anything more than that.
So it's not a conversation, really.
No.
Because the response twice now has been, "Oh, right."
What happens next? Take us through.
I'll sort of say, "You got anything to report? Anything gone on today?" Mm-hmm. And she knows it's. I sort of phase off again. It's like a phone call. She'll go, "Oh, so and so's leaving or whatever," and I don't know these people, and I'm not that interested.
And she senses that.
Yeah.
Yep.
So she'll go, "Oh, have you paid the insurance?" I go, "No, I forgot." She'll go, "I told you to do that." I said, "Yeah, but I've been doing the tiling." She's going, "Yeah, but weren't meant to do the tiling. I asked you to sort the insurance out on the washer because the washer keeps breaking." And she won't let me fix it, even though I know what it was. It was the heating element. I said, I know how to fix that. then have a game of crib.
It's like being in an old people's home.
I know.
And you've had a lovely game of crib with Suzanne, because, you know, the magic's still there. And what time do you hit the sack?
Don't know, about 11.
Do you go to bed at the same time?
Yeah. So that's it, yeah, that's the day, really.
Well, hang on, we haven't finished yet. So, any conversation before bed?
Depends if the radio's on. I might say, look, here's that story about the worm.
Yeah.
And then she'll go, yeah, but look, it hasn't got teeth. It's had this, that and the other. And I'll go, oh, yeah, forgot.
Good night.
That's the end of that, really.
Another day closer to death. The idea of Englishness and England, it's quite a vague term, isn't it? You can play loose and fast with it. I mean, for instance, I was looking at some quotes about England, and John Major, former Prime Minister, he typified England as being a place of long shadows on county cricket grounds, warm beer, invincible green suburbs, dog lovers, and old maids bicycling through the morning mist. Very specific vision of England.
But he never came to the estates that I was born on, or Karl was, you know what I mean?
So, what is your typical image of an Englishman now?
If I had to draw it for an alien, he'd be quite squat, quite sturdy, sort of no neck, hairy.
Are you just thinking of yourself?
Do you know what? It would be my build with Karl's head.
Really?
And no neck, yeah. I think he's sort of balding and unshaven, and he's like a shaved caveman. I think he's tough. He'd have tats. He'd eat like a dog.
It's the bulldog breed.
It is the bulldog breed. I am thinking of the bulldog breed. Yeah.
See, now my image of an Englishman is essentially that cliched one. It is, I think, Hugh Grant.
So you're modern. You're straight away modern now.
I would say it's either mixed between Hugh Grant and Roger Moore when he was James Bond.
You see, that's another small percentage of Englishness that sort of annoys me. There's people that think they're James Bond. They think they can buy a suit and read GQ, and they're suave and sophisticated, and they get cars they can't afford. All they do is work in a bank, come home, and flick through GQ at the adverts, looking at people with wearing watches and aftershave. Who wears aftershave?
Do you wear aftershave, Karl?
Normally, aftershave is the sort of thing I let other people buy me. It's like underpants, tea towels, and sort of aftershave and that. Other people buy me.
Who's buying you tea towels?
My mum.
Right,
okay.
Every
time she turns up, she's got Brilla pads and stuff. I've got loads of them. I keep saying to her, I don't need any of this, but she always brings a box full of stuff. Brilla pads, tea towels, underpants. The underpants size hasn't gone up since I was 14. But I can rely on her for that.
So do you not have anything in your life which you would think of as being gentlemanly? Do you ever dress smartly? What about suits?
I bought one suit that time when you invited me to the BAFTAs. That's the only suit. I think I wore it for one other thing. I haven't wore it since. I don't feel comfortable, it's not me.
But don't you go to a wedding?
That'd be a lovely advert, wouldn't it? Him with a suit on going, I haven't wore it since. Karl Pilkington hasn't wore it since.
I don't go to weddings. No, I don't like going to them.
I agree.
I mean, even though you know them, they don't give you any time when you're there, do they? They just they don't know whether you're there or not. They're on cloud 9. They don't know who's around.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter, you don't need to be there.
With them, on a wedding day, it's all me, isn't it?
Well, firstly, I'm annoyed about the wedding list. I don't know when that's come along, because I don't know why I can't just bring maybe something I've made at home. No. Why has there got to be a list of stuff?
What newly married bride doesn't want a pair of homemade clogs?
Exactly.
Do you know what I mean?
But saying that, I think people very much appreciate you being at their wedding.
No,
they do. They remember if you were there.
No, they don't.
They do.
They don't.
You don't get invited to weddings because you ain't got any mates.
No, I have. I've got to know enough people. Everyone's getting married. But they're always in the middle of nowhere.
That annoys me when people say, come to our wedding. Yeah, fine, we're in Greece.
Yeah.
Well, the thing that drives me insane when you do go is when they put you on a table with people you don't know.
Well,
I got all my mates there, and they put, because I got to mingle with some people. I don't care. I don't need these.
But that's what I'm not good at. Talking to people once. Talking to people who you don't know.
No.
What sort of stuff would you make conversation about at a wedding?
I'd probably say, first of all, how do you know them? How do you know the people getting married?
Yeah.
And then, do you think it'll last?
Imagine Imagine inviting Karl Pilkington to it and going, where should we put him? Oh, I don't know. Is there a table for one? Oh, just...
You've got a table with the kids.
Imagine being stuck with Karl Pilkington at a wedding. Yeah, what else? So you've asked them to think it'll last. They've gone, I'm sorry? Who are you? Oh, Karl Pilkington from Manchester. Right, yes, we think it'll last. What else would you ask? So what's your next?
The last wedding I went to, it's going back a couple of years, but everyone seems a bit snidey. Do you know what I mean? Because you've got a mixture of families there, haven't you?
Yeah.
And none of them really like each other. No. And I got stuck with an old fella who had a flatulence problem.
That sounds fun.
And then he went on to say it doesn't matter, the suit's hired. And it's just kind of...
I'm gonna die! I
just don't like him.
I love it. He's basically saying at a wedding, it doesn't matter if I shit myself. Oh.
Maybe it's that thing that I don't appreciate what I've got. But to me, being English isn't anything that great.
Really?
Why not?
Because it's just what I've been dealt with.
If you could be any nationality, what would you be and why?
Probably be Italian.
Okay, why?
Well, just yeah, I like the idea of it. I like Italians are alright.
Where would you live? Rome?
I probably wouldn't want to be in the middle of Rome. It's too much hassle.
Have you been to Rome?
Yeah, it's nice to visit and stuff.
Yeah.
It's good. A lot of old stuff.
Why have you chosen Italy? I'm interested to know why of all the countries you've chosen Italy.
I was a late comer to pasta.
But it's one year round.
I like it now. It's like one of my favourite things I have. Which there isn't really anything like that in England. That even though it's...
Well, except pasta.
Pasta's
No,
almost
but it's-
exactly like it.
Yeah,
No, but it's not.
We've got pasta, haven't
It's
we?
not ours though, is it? And we
No,
don't know
we've
how
got-
to eat it.
What do you mean we don't know how to eat it?
We do it all wrong.
You stick it up your arse again.
Look at me, I know how to fucking eat it.
No, but what I mean is, if you saw a proper Italian and they saw what we did to pasta, they would not be happy.
What are we doing wrong? Tell me what we're doing wrong
Well, I
with
don't
pasta.
know that, otherwise we wouldn't be doing
Well,
it wrong.
how do you know we're doing it
how do you
wrong?
know
I've
they
just
don't?
heard we do it wrong. It's like how we have the coffee at all the wrong times. I ordered a cappuccino somewhere and the Italian fella said you shouldn't be having that now, it's breakfast coffee.
Yeah, it is, yeah. Before 12 o'clock,
Yeah,
yeah.
but I was having it at like 4 to 11 at night.
Oh,
It looked
wow.
like it
Well,
was
that's
mental.
absurd. How are you going to get to sleep with a lovely cup of coffee?
Yeah, that's
Well,
a good
adults
one.
sleep anyway,
You
yeah.
shouldn't drink coffee anyway at night, full stop.
So, hang on. So you love pasta, but you're not eating it right. So you'd like to be Italian in order to be able to eat pasta correctly. Even though you enjoy the pasta you
What
eat.
do you feel being Italian is, and what's
It's just,
attracted
it's
to
just
being...
very sort of, it's a relaxed lifestyle. Whenever you go to Italy, everyone's sat outside a cafe. It doesn't matter what sort of person
Carl,
you are.
that's all you do now with your spare time is sit
Yes,
outside a cafe.
But they get more respect over there for
Why?
it. It's like, it's okay to do that. There's older people sat outside cafes who do nothing.
I
and it's
love the
just
fact that he
they're
wants to
probably
be
retired.
Italian so he can sit outside a cafe and get more respect than he does now sit outside a cafe.
No, but everyone's rushing about here. People have like colder coffee, they have frappuccinos here because they haven't got time to have a hot coffee. It's like they've got a coffee with icing so I can neck it. Get it down my neck and get on with my day. Relax, enjoy your coffee. I don't understand the rush.
But the reason you enjoy Italy is because when you're there, you're on holiday. That's why you're able to chill out and
No,
relax.
no.
When you say it's old people sat in some little Sicilian village. Of course they got no money.
Here, I went to the Salvation Army, right?
Why?
Because it's nice.
What do you mean?
You can get toast and a cup of tea for £1.
Go, you little skinflint.
That's just that should be the going rate, Steve. I'm surprised I haven't seen you in there, to be honest. But the thing is,
Where is it?
now, just near Camden.
What is it? Is it like old people?
A lot of old people, mainly old people. And this is what I'm saying. These are people who are old and they sat in a cafe, but they don't get any respect. People are walking past and they don't want to go in. The way you reacted when I said I was in the Salvation Army, that's the reaction they get. Yet an old Italian person, they looked after better.
Well, it's certainly true they look after their older families, don't they?
Right,
They do
and
respect
that's all
them.
I'm saying. Whereas, I mean, it's a lovely place, Salvation Army. Every old fella in there's got a tie on.
Yeah.
They make an effort.
Yeah.
So anyway, yeah, that's what I like about Italians and that. There's a lot of...
So you want to be
respect.
Italian because when you're old, you can sit outside a cafe and get more respect than you do here.
Yeah, look at the old people in this country. They never look happy, do they, really? Most of the time, when you see them walking around, they go to pot. No one's keeping an eye on them.
Well, it's an important thing, isn't it? That my mum, this is when she was about 60, 65. There was a neighbour who was, 85, 90. And my mum used to go around there every day. Do you want any shopping? Do it, right? But I remember calling her once, and she's going back. I said, what are we doing? She went, I've been around so-and-so. So I went, all right. She went, she won't die, Rick. Like, she's helping her, but she's thinking, this is getting silly now. You were meant to go years ago here.
Well, that's the problem, if you get pally with an old person, then you could be stuck with them for years.
And having to do stuff, that's what you don't want to do, isn't it? You meet an old, an old fella, and then you've got to start popping in his sort of piles or whatever when he can't do them himself. What do you do if you're...
It depends how friendly you are, though. I mean, I'm just talking about someone you meet at the bus stop, as opposed to popping the piles back in. How does that happen? Jesus. Just the ones on the estate I grew up on. As soon as it got to a certain age, there was Mrs. Knowles who went mental. One day she seemed fine, next day she was chucking cans in everyone's garden. You could just hear her coming. Which was weird. Aren't you? Now you've brought up weird people. There was a fella called Shorts Man. Right?
So pedestrian! I love that.
Shortest man wore some shorts.
Now, what I like, he did, but they were really short. They were that sort where, it's almost pointless having them on.
What do you mean?
They were just, like shorts now for blokes. They go up to your knees, don't they? There's no chance. There's no accident happening there. There's nothing going to pop out.
Yeah. No.
But Shorts Man, he liked it. He liked the fact that happened, and he used to walk with big strides to sort of help the chance along. So that he knew with the big strides and the short shorts,
they
were going to pop out.
Did you ever see it pop out?
Yeah.
Why did you look at the shorts?
Just because it was like playing Buckaroo. It was like, when are they going to pop out?
But what?
It's just what happened.
So right, but Shorts Man. So he was an exhibitionist. He basically wanted people to see his veg.
Yeah. And they were out more than they were in. I mean, they had a tan. Now the thing is, what we like in England, I think we like that. We like local characters.
The eccentric.
Yeah. Eccentric's that's very British. Eccentric. Yeah.
I'm glad I grew up round there with all them people because they're interesting.
Do you think there's a big difference, Karl, between the Englishman of yesteryear who didn't complain? I mean, he just got on with things. He might have whinged about the weather and the like, but he just got on with things.
He carried an umbrella.
Yeah. Whereas nowadays, people are getting their Prozac and their antidepressants. If someone into therapy.
Yeah. He kept out of stuff as well. Why are we getting involved now in everything? Thoughts on that, Karl?
It's news now, isn't it? Sometimes I think, don't tell me, don't want to know. Just get on with it. Whoever's job that is, get on with it.
Yeah.
Why am I being told about it? When I've got a problem in my job, no one else knows. No one helps me out and goes, well, I've got an opinion for him.
No.
This might help him. No one helps me. But I'm being bombarded by everyone else's hassle. They love talking, actually. That's what the English do. Talking, but they never finalise it. They love just being in the meeting room, talking, saying, yeah, we could do this, we could do that. I'm the only one in that room not getting paid. Everyone else is on a wage. I'm there looking at my watch thinking, right, I've been here for an hour and nothing's been sorted. They're looking, thinking we can drag this out for another half hour, gets to lunch. That's what annoys me. They're all sat there just pushing bullshit around the room like dung beetles. Sick of it. And that's what the English do. And it's a shame, because I don't think we used to be like that. I wish everybody just sort of kept to themselves more. Like, certain animals do. You just get on with it. It's like an old-fashioned way.
What animals keep themselves?
Any animals keep themselves to themselves.
Like what?
I've said loads of things.
What animals keep themselves?
Badgers.
Why do they keep themselves?
No, they just... whenever you've seen them just sort of wandering about a roadside, they're on their own. Right. They're not sort of...
What are they doing?
In pairs. I don't know. Most of the time they're dead. I've seen more dead badgers than alive ones. I've never seen a live badger.
I don't know what his point was.
So that's why they're one alone and two getting on with it. I love it. Most of the time.
It started off as some kind of poetic analogy. I don't know what that was.
Most of the time.
I just...
Oh, God. I like this thing of the Englishman I knew growing up was you had to... When you hit a certain age, when you hit, like... manhood or puberty or whatever, 13, 14, 15, you had to start showing your mettle. You had to be tough. I remember, when I first started going to pubs, right? So I don't know, say 18. You walk into a toilet with your urinals, and the first thing everyone did was fart and gob.
Yeah.
That was it, right?
Yeah,
If you couldn't do that, then, you know, you get funny looks. You know, you go in the urinal and they'd look at you and go, oh, sorry. It was all about, being a man, you know.
I think wearing glasses makes you slightly exempt from that. It's like you don't have to... People automatically dissociate. It's like if I was in prison, I wouldn't have to do that because I'd just be the professor.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
exactly,
or brains.
yeah.
I would.
Yeah.
I wouldn't need to be part of it. I'm never a threat because I never look like I'm going to be a tough guy. So consequently, I live in this sort of parallel stratosphere where I haven't got a piss and gob.
Yeah.
Has that got more popular?
Yes.
Has it?
Yeah.
There's a lot more people
gobbing?
doing it in the streets now.
Really?
It's like
not in
avoiding-
Hampstead.
It still is, you know. When I walk
The only
in,
person gobbing in Hampstead is me. Jane says, don't gob, people are looking.
well, it is. It's your trail that I'm seeing there. It's like a load of sort of washed-up jellyfish in London. Just big blobs of it. I mean, I don't know how they're coughing this stuff up. I mean, they shouldn't still be alive. Some of them have, like, organs in them. It's just big lumps of stuff.
Download and listen to this on iTunes, Spotify, or your favorite podcast provider. Just check the description below.
I mean, that list of idyllic, antiquated England of, you know, tea and cakes and cricket, I mean, is valid. But I think the things that sum up Englishness, I mean, talking of the weather, I think drinking, war, we love a ruck.
Yeah.
We're built on war. We're a warrior race.
We're pretty good at war.
Talking of the English sense of fair play and war, when the crossbow was invented, a lot of people wouldn't use it. They said it was unchristian. So our soldiers sort of resisted it. So Europeans got this thing that needed no skill, and it was shooting these bolts, and they could reload quick. And versus our bowmen. What do you think of that? What do you think of going, oh, it's cheating, we won't use it, but having a disadvantage? That's honour, isn't it?
But what's the problem here? What am I meant to be worrying about?
Well, you've got bow and arrows.
Yeah.
They're amazing. They're heavy. Someone comes along and goes, don't worry about that. Here's a crossbow. Just pop it in, put it back. Deadly. Deadly, quick. Anyone can use it. So now you've got anyone with a crossbow killing people.
Women, children.
Anyone can use it. So the Europeans, they're going crazy. But we resisted it because we thought it was, you know, unchristian and cheating to kill without skill. What do you think of that?
But where were the actual bows and that being made? Because that's the thing, isn't it? The company who's making them, they just want to get out to a big market.
Brilliant.
That's what they do now with the iPod and everything. It's not about people wanting more music than ever before. That's not the case. It's about having the accessory. And if the bow and arrow was like sold as this, you know, light to carry for all the family, that's how it would have happened. That's what it's all about.
You new bow and arrow from Ronco.
But what do you think the problem
Yeah,
is?
but you're not quite getting Ricky's point. His point is the idea of there being sort of rules and fair play and etiquette in war. The objective is to kill the enemy.
I don't think war and that is a place to start getting all uppity about someone cheating or having a better system.
Really? You think all fair in love and war, do you?
Yeah, definitely.
Right, but there's
It's just about
rules,
winning.
isn't it?
No, not in a war. There isn't rules.
What's extraordinary about the idea of English fair play is, you know, famously the approach during the First World War, that we would sort of walk up out of the trenches onto no man's land and sort of politely march at a slow, steady pace across towards the enemy.
know.
I mean, and then we were just being machine gunned down. I mean, it was absurd.
And that's the one they had a knockabout stuff, didn't they? A game of football. And
In
that.
no man's land, yeah. Christmas Day.
But who took a football there? If I was on the front line, I would not be getting out the rule book. I can tell you that much. I'd be going mental.
Are you saying there should be some rules or no rules?
I mean, you've got to have some rules, otherwise it's just going to be like Grand Theft Auto, isn't it? I'm just going to go about battering everyone.
Yeah.
And you soon get bored of that.
Which rules would you repeal that already exist that you don't like?
It's a shame you can't tip as much as you used to be able to.
You mean in a restaurant?
No, just when you're getting rid of a mattress or something.
So fly tipping. You'd like to see more fly tipping.
What do you mean? This is something so personal. He's fed up. He had to take something.
No, it's just that they used to put stuff outside the house, and just like you had mattresses, you had sideboards, sewing machines. The thing is, it was a good way of recycling. Now they say recycle, but we're not recycling. It's just being put in a bin. I'm saying if you've got old furniture, you should be allowed to leave it outside your house without the council going, move that, it's dangerous, someone's going to trip over it. Well, if they trip over it, it should have been looking where they're going.
Well, what if they're blind?
What?
What if they're blind? That's why you don't leave things out in the pavement, because blind people will fall over and smack their face in.
No, because I'm leaving it. I'm not leaving it on the pavement.
What you just said you were? Where are you leaving it?
Sort of outside the house.
Where are you leaving it, Karl? You haven't established where you're leaving this yet. Because so far, a blind person's fallen over and broken his nose.
I've never seen a blind person trip over anything.
You've never seen a blind person trip over anything?
Definitely not. They're better on the feet than some people because they're more cautious, aren't they?
So
make it more fun for them, if anything.
Why can't you just have this stuff collected by a second-hand shop or
because
send
they
it to
don't come,
charity?
Steve. Honestly, they don't. I've called up people and they're saying, yeah, we'll be there in an hour. And I say, right, I'm going to put it out on the street and are you going to come and get it? Yeah, we'll be there. An hour passes by. They haven't been. Suddenly the council goes past.
On the floor, bloodied noses.
And the council said, I call them up, do you want to shift it? Well, we might, but don't know when. Well, it's outside the house now. Well, you can't leave it there. It's your responsibility. You'll have to stay with it. Suddenly I'm wasting time sat outside the house with rubbish that someone else might want. But you're not allowed to leave there because a blind person might come along. What's the dog doing?
What do you make of St. George, the patron saint? What's your take on that?
Is he the one who killed the dragon?
Right. Tell us the story.
There was a dragon problem. Must have been in England.
Right.
George took it on. He took on the job. He was like a rent-a-kill. He came out. The interesting thing with him is, right, he was a hero then. I honestly think if he did that now, there'd be an uproar. Because it's the last dragon. It's the same way we try to save the panda and all that now. If he came out and said, I've done it, and he's done what? They've just killed the last dragon. They'd go mental. There'd be marches. Idiot! Bloody idiot! And that's what's interesting.
But it was going around burning people.
Doesn't matter, we shouldn't have killed the last one. It's the last one. And that's what we'd be like. You say you should have saved it, you should have captured it and put it in a cage so we can all look at it.
There's no point. It couldn't have bred anyway. It was the last one.
Was it definitely the last one?
Well, you were saying it was the last one. I'm not bothered either way.
Hang on, what?
To me,
Sorry,
hang on. Whoa.
So you think that there were dragons?
Well, what are we celebrating then?
Well, it could be a metaphor, a dragon slayer. It could be a bad thing amongst us. It could be a foreign threat. It could be things that threaten. It could be anything. It's not to be taken literally, is it?
But the real legend of George was that he was a figure who stood up for Christianity. Have you ever done anything brave?
There was a kid at school who used to have epileptic fits a lot, and the teacher used to always say, if it happens, grab his tongue. And I sort of had a go at that once. His tongue.
His tongue?
Yeah.
What do you have a tongue for? To pick stuff up? What do you mean a tongue?
His tongue in his mouth.
Oh, his tongue.
Oh, his tongue. Yeah. Right, go on.
And they used to say, if he starts doing it, grab his tongue and that. And I sort of had a go at that once, and it wasn't nice.
Well, how'd you grab it? You grabbed his tongue, did you?
Well, I tried to. It's like grabbing a slug. And plus his mouth's going up and down. That you think he's going to have me handy. So you sort of do that thing where you go.
So you were trying to grab hold of a kid's tongue, yeah? And he's
throwing himself all over the place. It was in a physics lesson. I sort of had a go, and then I thought this isn't happening. So I just sort of kept putting my hand in, like I'm having a go. But in the head, I was going, I'm not going to get hold of it.
What you could have used is a pair of tongs.
Well, firstly, I don't see why this is brave. Kids having an epileptic fit and you're just supposed to help them out. I don't know why that's bravery, but even given that, the fact that you were thinking more about yourself in that situation than this other kid. You were thinking, I'll make it look like I'm helping, but I'm not really. And yet there's this kid having an epileptic fit.
I did at the beginning.
Doesn't
I
that
tried.
sum you up, Karl? Selfish.
No, it doesn't. Because no one else was having a go. At least I did try and grab it at one point.
You weren't doing anything. You were just making it look like you were.
Have you ever tried to grab a tongue? It's like chasing a chicken. It's murder. And after a while, it wears you out. And it was weird anyway, because it was like...
What was he doing it for?
I don't know.
Where did he know after hours of chasing this kid's tongue?
I love the idea of you ever tried grabbing a tongue. It's a valid question.
I love that he's annoyed. He's annoyed that this
What
kid's
was
ever
your
been-
technique? Were you trying to grab it?
Just with your thumb and your finger, like a pincher thing.
Yeah.
But it was because his mouth's going down and.
Was he shouting or just?
No, just throwing himself around.
So that's your one attempt at bravery.
Well, hang on a minute. Let me just think. It's
Trying to grab a
else.
tongue.
There was a time you were chased by a bee and you scored a goal.
I forgot about that.
That isn't really bravery, is it? As you were running away from a bee, and the ball happened to hit your foot and go in. That count as bravery. I love it when he goes up to the pearly gates and goes, "Well, have you done the act of courage?" I pretended to grab a tongue. A what? A tongue? A tongue? Yeah. Got chased by a bee, scored a goal. It doesn't count as brave at all.